Hello and bienvenue. I am Joker, the Full Metal Joker. Now, before we get started with the topic at hand, I'd like to let you know two things. One, if you do not like what has to be said, please remove yourself from this video. Two, everything I have to say is mostly opinion-based with a lining of truth, but if you feel like I'm wrong in certain areas or I need more information in others, please feel free to contact me. You should already know how to do this by now. With that being said, the topic I want to be covering today is a rather interesting one. Yes, I know I've already covered some stuff that's happened in Europe, but with things that happened here lately, I find rather interesting. Now, what may be interesting? You may be asking? Well, there's a new crop of protesters that showed up that go by the name, well, they've been called the Yellow Vests. Now, what makes them interesting, you might ask? Well, unlike many of the protesters you've heard about, they're not young kids that don't know what the world is like, nor do they care, nor are they a group of individuals that haven't worked a day in their life and complain about how it ain't fair, why they ain't getting the handouts they deserve. No, these individuals are hardworking men and women that finally had enough. Now, the catalyst may be different, but what they want is pretty much the same. They finally had enough with the crap that's been going on in their countries, with how governments sitting here doing what they want, not listening to their citizens, giving bailouts to high-end businesses and corporations while taxing the middle and working classes even more, making it hard for them to live and survive. And one of the examples is like what happened in France. Now, they finally had it. They've been pissed off at their leader for quite some time, but the catalyst that finally cut loose is he added more taxes to their petrol. Now, it's already expensive as it is, and people couldn't afford it anymore. Where many of them relied on that petrol to go to work, and with it being close to what, $7 US a gallon, and with a lot of people relying on vehicles to get to point A to point B, and a lot of people using vehicles as their work, making it hard for them to turn a profit because of said taxes, while they're making cutbacks to rich corporations. Now, before you get on me about the whole uh, corporation thing, listen to me. I I agree with businesses. Businesses should be rewarded, but it should be the people that buy their goods should be the ones that reward them through buying their goods and services. It is not the government's job to be giving them tax breaks while increasing the taxes on your working men. I find it wrong, and apparently the people in France found it wrong too, because they got fed up of not only them taxing the hard-working people that live there, but giving money to these businesses and giving money to these immigrants that are coming in, that are being pretty much forced down the people that lives there in France's throats. Now, there's quite a few new areas in Europe where the yellow vests have showed up. Heck, they've even showed up in Canada. Because, again, people are getting tired of this. They don't want these unchecked immigrants coming into their country. They don't want their leaders, the people who they voted for and elected, to sit there and promise them one thing and then do stuff behind their backs. People are rising up and getting tired of this. Now, the one thing I disagree with them on, the one thing I didn't like when I heard about it, is the fact that they're tearing up their own heritage. They're tearing up priceless works of art. Again, you don't do that. It's one thing to riot the streets and show your government that you're pissed off, but you don't tear up your own heritage in the process. Because then, once you get what you want, what are you going to do when you've destroyed everything that you wanted to protect in your country? What are you going to do then? And with that being said, if you enjoy my content, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support this channel even further, please check out my Patreon and PayPal me. However you choose to support my content will be much appreciated. Thank you, and good luck.